Ever wondered how a war fought thousands of miles away can impact your daily life back at home? Let's look at the Afghan War and its effects on the American economy. The Afghan War, a conflict that began in the early part of the 21st century, was initiated by the United States and its allies in response to the infamous September 11th attacks. This war, characterized by its duration and complexity, has had a profound effect not only on the socio-political landscape of the Middle East but also on the economic fabric of the United States. From the direct costs of military operations to the indirect ones like veteran care, the war has had far-reaching implications on the American economy. And these effects aren't just confined to government spending, they trickle down to the average American, affecting employment, public debt, and even your tax dollars. So, with this backdrop, let's delve into the economic repercussions of the Afghan War on America. The immediate aftermath of the war was a pronounced economic tremor felt throughout the states. It was a time of upheaval, with the nation's coffers strained under the weight of unprecedented defense spending. This surge wasn't simply a momentary spike, it was a sustained increase that sent shockwaves through the federal budget. The war chest expanded, but so too did the national debt. The seemingly endless demand for military resources led to a significant rise in the country's liabilities. It was as if we were trying to fill a bottomless pit, and every dollar spent on the war was a dollar not spent on domestic infrastructure, education, or healthcare. The immediate economic effects were palpable, but they were just the tip of the iceberg. The true cost of the war was not confined to the battlefields of Afghanistan. It echoed in the halls of Congress, in the homes of taxpayers, and in the future of American children indebted before their birth. The immediate aftermath was just the beginning. The ripple effects of the war would shape the economy for years to come. The long-term economic consequences of the Afghan War are far-reaching and complex. Let's delve into the depth of this impact. Firstly, let's talk about the veterans. The brave men and women who served in Afghanistan returned home with more than just memories. Many suffered physical injuries and psychological trauma. The cost of their health care has been enormous. The Department of Veterans Affairs budget has more than doubled since the start of the war, and it's still climbing. Next, we turn to the job market. The war led to a shift in the labor market with a surge in defense-related jobs. However, this also meant that resources were drawn away from other sectors. The focus on defense production led to a decline in the growth of other industries, impacting the overall job market negatively. The war also had far-reaching effects on the manufacturing sector. The necessity of producing military equipment and supplies led to a significant shift in this sector. While this boosted defense manufacturing, it also meant that other areas of manufacturing suffered, leading to job losses and a decrease in diversity within the industry. Then there's the matter of oil prices. The Middle East is a major oil-producing region, and any instability there can have a significant impact on global oil prices. The Afghan War led to heightened tensions in the region, causing oil prices to skyrocket. This had a domino effect on the American economy, increasing the cost of transportation, manufacturing, and heating homes. Finally, the war led to an increase in the national debt. The war was largely financed through borrowing, adding to the country's already substantial debt. This has led to more money being spent on interest payments, leaving less available for public services and investment in the future. Undeniably, the Afghan War has had a profound and lasting impact on the American economy. Fast forward to today, the ramifications of the Afghan War are still felt in the American economy. The echoes of this conflict reverberate through the hallways of fiscal policy and public spending. The national debt, a specter that haunts the American financial landscape, has ballooned considerably. A significant chunk of this debt can be traced back to the exorbitant costs of the war. The price tag attached to the war was not merely a one-time expenditure. Rather, it is an ongoing financial commitment that continues to drain resources. One of the most poignant examples of this is the cost related to caring for veterans. These brave men and women who served their country in a distant land returned home carrying not just the emotional scars of war, but also the physical ones. The healthcare, rehabilitation, and pensions for these veterans represent a significant ongoing cost. This commitment, both necessary and honorable, adds to the fiscal pressure on the economy. Beyond the direct costs, the American economy also had to adjust to the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. This move, while ultimately necessary, required a reorientation of economic resources. Defense spending had to be recalibrated and funds had to be redirected to domestic concerns. This transition, though beneficial in the long run, created short-term economic disruptions. The economic ripples of the Afghan war have also impacted the private sector. Industries connected to defense and foreign policy have had to recalibrate their strategies in light of the changing geopolitical landscape. This has led to job shifts and changes in investment patterns, adding another layer of complexity to the economic scenario. The Afghan war, though geographically distant, has left an indelible mark on the American economy. So how has the Afghan war shaped the American economy? Let's recap. In the immediate aftermath, we saw a significant surge in military spending, leading to a ripple effect across various sectors of the economy. This sudden influx of capital also led to a shift in the labor market as more jobs were created to support the war effort. But the long-term effects were more profound. The war led to an increase in the national debt as the government borrowed heavily to finance the conflict. This resulted in higher interest rates and a squeeze on public spending in other areas. Fast forward to the current scenario. We see a country grappling with the economic scars left by the war. The military-industrial complex continues to consume a significant portion of the budget, hampering investment in other sectors. The Afghan war's economic costs serve as a stark reminder of the far-reaching consequences of international conflicts on domestic economies.